This is the Amerigo Vespucci. It was launched in 1931. It is the oldest active ship in the Italian Navy, and it's doing a world tour, and it stopped here in the port of Los Angeles. And I have a ticket to get on board. So let's go check this out. The Port of Los Angeles is in San Pedro, which is about 35 minutes south of downtown Los Angeles and about an hour south of Burbank, which is where I live. Look at this line. And that's just to get on the shuttle. But it moved pretty quickly, and soon we were on our way. This was our first look at the boat. We got off the shuttle and headed to check-in. Then I went straight to the queue to get on board. The band was fun. I remember playing this in high school. Pretty sure everyone in band played this in high school. I think it's required playing. You can see how many people are here. This has been a very popular event. The Amerigo Vespucci is in LA for only 5 days. As we got closer to the ship, there was this statue of a naked woman. I didn't know it at the time, but this is a sculpture by famed Italian sculptor Jacopo Cardillo, simply known as Iago. This is his contemporary interpretation of Michelangelo's David. I so regret not taking a closer look at it when I got off the ship, but to be honest, it just slipped my mind. Wow, it's time to board. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm boarding now. Yikes. A not so subtle reminder that this is a military vessel. They hustled everyone up this first set of steps. They had a gun rack on this lower deck. The first row has decorative guns like you would see in a color guard, but the second row, those are real guns for quick and easy access. This was my first real look at the ship. The Amerigo Vespucci is a sailing ship, and this is the third of 3 masts. It's called the mizzen mast. All of these ropes are to hoist the sails. Here's the back deck, which was blocked off. These narrow steps led up to this area, which might be communications. It was blocked from the ship, but you could see it from shore. The reason they have multiple steering wheels in here is because it is manual steering and it is very hard to steer. So it takes several people to actually turn the rudder one way or the other. These steps lead down to the center of the ship. This is where most of the training activities take place, as it's the most open area on the ship. I kind of want to go down those hatches. This map is showing the route of the world tour of the Amerigo Vespucci. They also have the ship's motto, Non chi comincia ma quel che persevera. That means not he who begins, but he who perseveres. So true. There are a lot of crewmen who are on board to answer questions. I want to know if these are lifeboats or used for any other purpose. Unfortunately, the guy on our deck here only speaks Italian, and I do not. The main mast is also in this part of the ship. It is the tallest of the masts. Again, lots of ropes to hoist those sails. I couldn't find out what this particular room was, but someone's working on a Saturday. Look how amazing this top deck is. It's gorgeous. There's a lot to see on this deck. Now, I don't know what this yellow thing is, but behind it in black is the anchor. I can't tell you why it's not deployed, though. This beautiful thing is a hand winch. They have one on the bow as well. Now remember, this ship is a sailboat. They have auxiliary motors, but most of it is handled manually. They have some of these things that you wrap ropes around, but they have these very artistic brass details on top of it. It's really beautiful. It is a combination of function and art. The front mast is called the foremast. Next to each mast are these cable and tie rods called shrouds. They're used to facilitate climbing up to the mast because, you know, sailors got to get up there. Also next to the masts are these wooden and brass pulleys called la pazienza, or patience. They're used to maneuver the sails. Extending from the front of the boat is a fourth mast called the bowsprit. Under the bowsprit, which we couldn't see, is the masthead, or polena. The masthead is, unsurprisingly, Amerigo Vespucci the Explorer, and it's made in gilded bronze. This is the bridge where the nautical and electronic equipment are used. In front of the bridge is this bell. Bells were traditionally used on boats with different rhythms signaling different meanings, such as fog or low visibility. There's another bell on the center deck. I couldn't find out whether or not they still use these bells or if that tradition has been replaced with modern electronics. More temptation for my curiosity. I believe that the boats hanging on the side of the main ship are lifeboats, but over the center section were several motorized boats. These would be used for tasks other than being a lifeboat, but I don't know what those would be. Look at this. At first I thought it was a gangplank, because of course a naval ship would have sailors walk the gangplank like pirates did. But it is so much more interesting. It's called the flying bridge. A military officer uses the navigational tools to support maneuvers conducted by the bridge. They'll use these instruments to find positional targets and calculate distance and position. And then it was time to leave the ship. The Italian village had some interesting exhibits and films, but the ship was the star of the day. So that is my day at the Amerigo Vespucci down at the port of Los Angeles. Find your adventure. Thank you for watching.